Pope Benedict XVI announces he will resign from the papacy on February 28. The Liberal Party and the United Nationalist Alliance plan their proclamation rallies on the eve of the first day of the official campaign period tomorrow. Salvage operations for the USS Guardian are postponed due to unfavorable weather conditions in the Tubataha Reef. And Justice Secretary Laila de Lima says Aman Futures Group founder Manuel Amalillo must serve at least 15 months of his jail term in Malaysia before returning to the Philippines. I'm Nancy Irlanda. This is Solar Nightly News. Good evening. The Vatican announces that Pope Benedict XVI will step down from the papacy at the end of this month due to his deteriorating health. Here's Mai Rodriguez with details.
Pope Benedict XVI announced he will resign on February 28, the end of this month, because he no longer has the strength to fulfill the duties of his office. He is the first pontiff since the Middle Ages to take such a step. The 85-year-old Pope said he had noticed that his strength had deteriorated over recent months, and I quote, "to the extent that I have had to recognize my incapacity to adequately fulfill the ministry entrusted to me." He says, and I quote, "For this reason, and well aware of the seriousness of this act, with full freedom, I declare that I renounce the ministry of Bishop of Rome, successor of St. Peter." That's according to a statement from the Vatican. Pope resignations are rare. Only a few popes have resigned in the history of the Roman Catholic Church. A pope is far more than chief executive of the worldwide church. For the Catholic faithful, he is the successor to St. Peter and vicar of Christ on earth, who is expected to serve until death. Popes are elected by cardinals in a process the Church believes is guided by the Holy Spirit. Popes can resign or be deposed. However, such occurrences are so rare that the idea of a modern-day pontiff stepping down is hard to grasp. Past popes who quit served mostly in the Church's first millennium. Historians say Pope Celestine V resigned in 1294, shortly after taking the papal office. The last time pontiffs resigned or were deposed was during the Great Western Schism of the late 14th and early 15th centuries, when three papal lines competed. The issue was raised again when Pope John Paul II became increasingly debilitated by Parkinson's disease. Still, John Paul stayed in the job until his death. One major worry is that if a pope retires, it could split the church into factions, with some Catholics following the former pontiff instead of the current man in the job. Mai Rodriguez, Solar News.
Before he became the leader of about 1.2 billion Catholics around the world, Pope Benedict XVI grew up in a family of modest means and witnessed the Nazi regime's harsh treatment of Catholics. Mai Rodriguez is back with his story.
Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger, the given name of Pope Benedict XVI, was born in Passau, Germany on April 16, 1927. His father, a policeman, belonged to an old family of farmers from Lower Bavaria of modest economic resources. His mother was a daughter of artisans. Pope Benedict spent his childhood and adolescence in Traunstein, a small village near the Austrian border. His faith and the education received at home prepared him for the harsh experience of those years during which the Nazi regime pursued a hostile attitude towards the Catholic Church. The young Joseph saw how some Nazis beat the parish priest before the celebration of Mass. Fast forward to April 19, 2005, Ratzinger was elevated to the papacy upon the death of Pope John Paul II and celebrated his papal inauguration Mass 5 days later. Known for his rigid views on Catholicism, he has sought a more inclusive image as Pope. Mai Rodriguez, Solar News.
Swift reaction to Pope Benedict's resignation. The German government says it was, in their words, moved and touched by the surprise resignation of German-born Pope Benedict XVI. Government spokesman Stefan Siebert said Germany has the highest respect for the Holy Father. Siebert added that Pope Benedict left a very personal signature as a thinker at the head of the Catholic Church. German Chancellor Angela Merkel, meanwhile, is expected to make a statement on the matter. Malacanang is saddened by Pope Benedict's decision to relinquish the Petrine ministry by the end of the month. The Office of the Presidential Secretary said this is the first time in modern history that the papacy would be vacated by means of resignation. Malacanang joins the Catholic world in prayer and sympathy. Malacanang recalled Pope Benedict's prayers dedicated to Filipinos in times of calamity and the recent canonization of San Pedro Calungsod. Well, the Liberal Party will hold its proclamation rally tomorrow at the historic Plaza Miranda, where President Aquino is expected to endorse administration coalition candidates. Here's Ina Andolong with that story.
President Aquino personally selected the venue for the Liberal Party's proclamation rally tomorrow night. LP will kick off its campaign for its senatorial bets at Plaza Miranda, a place which is historically significant to the party. In 1971, a bombing incident disrupted LP's campaign rally at Plaza Miranda, killing 9 people and injuring close to 100, including prominent party members.
Tulad din nung mga ipinaglalaban noong nangyari ang Plaza Miranda bombing, na alam natin talagang sa kapanahunan ng kung ang nilalabanan noon ay diktatorya, ang nilalabanan naman ngayon ay katiwalian at kahirapan.
After announcing plans to elevate the campaign to a higher level, LP's proclamation rally will be graced by its celebrity members, like Aga Mulak and his wife Charlene, who are said to be hosting the event. All 12 LP senatorial candidates will be there to deliver a speech not exceeding 8 minutes each. To further highlight his all-out support for the slate, only the president will be delivering an endorsement speech.
The president is calling the shots as far as these elections are concerned because he really wants to be able to ensure that what he has done over the last 3 years, he will be able to sustain and continue.
LP officials say their 3 common candidates with UNA have assured them that they will not join their rival sorties. LP sorties will be done by region. This week, their candidates, who will be divided into smaller groups, will be visiting nearby provinces in the south. Next week, they will head to Visayas, then move to Mindanao in the last week of the month. Individual campaigns, however, are expected.
They committed to join the LP activities. Now, we hope that they will be true to their words.
Recent surveys have mostly shown a tie between LP and UNA candidates entering the Magic 12. This is still far from LP's target of a 12-0 sweep. The party, however, is not worried, saying surveys at the start of the campaign still tend to change later in the game. Besides, the party believes the president's endorsement power is stronger now than in 2010. The public can also expect more of LP media advertisements with the start of the official campaign period tomorrow. While the LP didn't give a figure on how much they've spent so far on the pre-campaign ads, LP assures the public that all expenses and campaign contributions will be reported and declared before COMELEC. Similar to the 2010 elections, the party plans to be strict in accepting campaign funds to ensure that people who will be donating resources are not those who expect favors in return. Ina Andolong, Solar News.
It's Plaza Miranda for the ruling coalition and it's Plaza Independencia for the United Nationalist Alliance. UNA is all set to embark on a 3-month campaign tomorrow in Cebu City. Camille Elemia tells us more.
It's the United Nationalist Alliance's opening salvo tomorrow afternoon in Cebu City. Cebu is the most vote-rich province in the Philippines with about 2.5 million registered voters and a voter turnout of 77.74% in 2010. That is why many national candidates are after the Cebuano vote. Suspended Cebu Governor Gwen Garcia and Cebu City Mayor Michael Rama are allied with UNA, which makes Cebu the coalition's likely bailiwick. The so-called Three Kings of UNA will attend the proclamation rally. Vice President Jejomar Binay, Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile, and former President Joseph Estrada. UNA Deputy Secretary General Nancy Binay says the coalition's three guest candidates, Senators Francis Escudero, Lauren Legarda, and Grace Poe, will not join the rally. Binay did say Poe will be represented by her son Brian Lemanzares, while Legarda her father. No word yet if Escudero will send a proxy to the event. The Gutierrez family is expected to attend the motorcade and rally in support of Annabel Rama, who is UNA's bet for representative of Cebu City. All is set for UNA's proclamation rally Tuesday afternoon here at the Plaza Independencia in Cebu City. UNA will hold a mass at the Cebu Cathedral at 7 in the morning, followed by a motorcade all over Metro Cebu. The proclamation rally will start at 5 in the afternoon. Meanwhile, Nancy Binay denies UNA is spending government funds to sustain the coalition's campaign. This in response to reports government vehicles were used in the preparation of UNA's campaign stage in Cebu. She says each UNA candidate takes care of his or her own spending, but she declines to detail UNA's source of funds.
As of the moment, coming individually, we take care of our own funding. So wala pang from the party itself.
UNA has at least 10 local candidates in Cebu province. All of them are expected to join the proclamation rally together with the so-called Three Kings of the coalition. Camille Elemia, Solar News, Cebu City.
Commission on Elections Chairman Sixto Brillantes says the COMELEC will explain tomorrow the details on airtime limit deductions in cases of political party coalitions. Brillantes says the COMELEC will not be too strict in implementing the restrictions until it has clarified the matter. However, Brillantes points out that time limits will be deducted from whomever pays for an ad's airing in media outlets. The Commission on Elections encourages the use of social media sites in reporting campaign violations. Here's Patricia Ongsiaco with the details.
A day before the campaign period for national candidates begins, COMELEC asks the public to help the Commission in monitoring campaign rules violations. COMELEC spokesman James Jimenez says netizens can report campaign violations via COMELEC's various social media sites.
Now, we are also inviting members of the public to conduct their own documentation tours wherever they are, to take pictures and to send the pictures to us.
The COMELEC website details common campaign violations, such as posters on public utility and government vehicles, public infrastructure outside the designated common poster area, those put on trees and electric wires. If anyone comes across any of these prohibited propaganda, Jimenez says one can simply fill out the feedback form found in the website. A mobile version of the website is also available for those using tablets and mobile phones to access the site. Those with photos of illegal campaign materials can tweet COMELEC's official Twitter account with a photo attachment and hashtag Sumbongko, while videos can be emailed to comelectv@gmail.com. Netizens should receive a reply from COMELEC within 24 hours. Jimenez says COMELEC will also release very soon TV and online ads encouraging the public to report violations to the Commission. He assures netizens that all reports will be kept confidential unless they explicitly say they are willing to testify. Validated reports of campaign materials will also be posted in the gallery of the website. Jimenez warns that candidates proven guilty of campaign violations risk imprisonment of 1 to 6 years, disqualification, prevention from running for public office, and revocation of one's right to vote.
Dahil bukas magsisimula na ang campaign period para sa national positions, technically pwede nating sabihin kung epal ka dati, bukas criminal ka na.
Beginning tomorrow, the Commission will document all campaign materials and send out notices to those prohibited propaganda. Candidates will then have 3 days upon receipt of notice to remove all prohibited materials, or else face the consequences. Patricia Ongsiaco, Solar News.